Hey guys, it's Lucid. Welcome back. I've got a treat for you. We're starting on turn 19 in radiation therapy, and our war with Pangaea is breaking out. We were kind of on the fence about whether to attack him or not, etc., etc., and we decided to. So we march in here, and apparently he's waiting for us. He's got quite the PD dump, and I think we'll take this, but I think we're going to take some pretty serious losses. I mean, this is heavy cav. So we'll do the best we can, but I'm not promising much. Now, I think our guys are blessed, yeah. But they're back here on my Archbishop. It's not good. 3 very angry white centaur. Holy crap. Fortunately, this is our prophet, and our prophet is also kind of a beast. Not a lot of protection, obviously, but the defense is decent. I think it's harassed down already. Yeah, 3, so... I tell you, this guy hits pretty hard. We definitely... Oh man, okay, no, we smacked that one in the face. We were getting lucky here, guys. Meanwhile, there's not much left of the rest of the Pangaean force. Oh, and Chillar actually doing God's work over here for us. Okay, and then our knights come back to save our prophet. Thank God. I wonder how low our prophet ended up getting. Oh man, pretty low. Lost an arm. Our one-armed prophet. I think that's fitting. Got some lictors up here that just don't give a fuck. Alright. So let's see what the ledger for that battle is. We lost 1 censor. We lost 1 priest. We lost 4 knights. And we lost 1 lictor. Meanwhile, he lost 4 white centaur. His Inca survived. This Inca is causing a lot. Look, he killed 15 dudes. He's doing a lot of damage. And then a pretty massive PD dump. This is probably like 40 PD, if I had to guess. And then we have another battle here. And I don't think this one goes our way. Nope. So in some ways this was a almost superior force, and I was expecting maybe 10 white centaur, but oh no. Because I thought I had timed this where he was off fighting Nazca. Well, I guess not. Because he's got a shit ton of centaur here, and they're just going to murder me. And just look at these guys, they're dissolving. This is not good. Run! Everyone, run! Get out! That is a scary, scary army. There's also something I should point out. Even though we haven't seen a battle before, and some of you probably were already furiously typing away in the comments, even though we haven't seen them before, I have been told these were Blood Bond Fortitude Regen White Centaur. I was lied to. They are Blood Bond Fortitude Regen Undying Fate Weaving Centaur. So they've got 8 extra HP, which, if you can't kill them all the way dead, they're going to regen right back up to the top. And one of the things I like about this Bless, there's a lot of things I like about this Bless. I mean, first of all, it just fits with the theme of the game. I mean, we're playing radiation therapy, and this guy goes all in on the Hell Bless. All in. I love it. I absolutely love it. But there's a few things. So one of the downsides of taking Undying, even if you go something like Regen, is that if your guys survive once they've dipped into the negative, they're going to be so beat up, they're going to have so many afflictions, they'll kind of be worthless. And you'll just pay upkeep on like a sacred potato. Not the case with Centaur, because they have recuperation built in. So they're going to, if you have regen on them and Undying, they're going to get right back up to full. Also, Fate Weaving, this is a very defensive bless. Everything here on this side is defensive, except for Blood Bond, which actually is offensive, because if you look, every single one is going to have gone berserk. Because they all got hit, and then once one of them gets hit, it's going to percolate and trickle to trigger most all of them to go berserk at the same time. Whereas a lot of times you'll have White Centaur that aren't berserk. And when they're not berserk, they don't hit as hard. And what's interesting about White Centaur is normally cavalry have a hoof attack that does not scale with strength. You'll see strength not added. And the idea is because no matter how strong the rider is, it's not going to affect the strength of the hoof on the horse. Not the case with Centaur, because they're one and the same with their mount. What this means is it's going to make them significantly more killy. They're going to get that +3 attack, +3 strength right at the start of combat. You're not going to have to wait for them to potentially almost die. So the Blood Bond is a killy portion, especially on White Centaur, but the Fate Weaving is also killy. It's going to, and it's Fate Weaving, there are people who've posted detailed guides. My best understanding of it is anytime you're going to make a saving roll, like a defense roll, a protection roll, normally you get DRN, which is 2 1d6 exploding die, I think. Anyway, my understanding is you get one less of those. So you get only one of those exploding die when you have Fate Weaving applied to you. Now, the way Fate Weaving works is let's read it. Anyone striking this unit will have their fate rewritten and suffer from misfortunes for the next few rounds of battle. The effect can be resisted with an Ermor check. Yeah, anybody that hits a Centaur gets it applied to them. And then they're going to be in for a very hard time. This guy has it. Cursed Luck. This unit has an increased chance of getting hit and an increased chance of these hits dealing high damage. Cursed Luck also negates the effect of luck should it be in effect. Okay, and this part I didn't actually know. In a few turns, because I'm actually 5 turns ahead, the Pangaea player will explain this to me in a long post, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, that's actually kind of huge. The fact that you can't do luck on units that are also misfortuned. I've been told it may also apply to MR checks and other sorts of things. I know it applies to heat auras and things too. It can apply to a lot of things. I'm not sure all the things it can, but what's nice about this is normally one of the things you can do against a very defensive-oriented bless is you send in a thug or a super combatant who will just slowly work their way through the dudes with the right weapon. But if they're this killy, it's going to be very hard to super combatant against, because you're going to have misfortune applied to you. Now the question remaining for this combat is, will this guy get off? And it's looking like the answer is yes, but in fact the answer is no. He is very, very dead. So for the opening salvo of war, from him to kill all of this and lose almost nothing, I mean he lost nothing and killed all of this. He's feeling pretty good. And I feel good for him, because I felt bad because I kind of stabbed him in the back, because I kind of promised both them I told both them I would go to war with the other. So anyway, I can't make both of them happy, and I wasn't sure both of them were serious, which is why I was courting both of them. But anyway, when it came time to kind of get honest and say, hey, dude, we're going to have to attack you next turn, this must have been cathartic for him. And it's a little cathartic for me. It's one of those things that feels good. It feels bad, but deserved. And everything here is kind of replaceable except this Archbishop. This is really hurting me. This is like a turn and a half of income. So this is like setting me back 1.5 turns in the game. And then losing these, 15 sacreds is a lot at this point in the game for me. But look at this 48 white centaur. Where the hell did they all come from? There were none there the turn before. And now Pangaea is an elf nation. They're stealthy, so it's kind of hard to tell where they're all off to. And white centaur are quite mobile, so they can charge around pretty quickly. Here we're going in after this throne. And this is where the vampires are going to come in. Now, our guys have magic weapons, so they're going to chew up the vampires. And Itimu here, who we have named Winter. I can't remember if I had said in the previous episodes that Itimu has joined us, but yeah, he's going to go ham killing vampires. And the thralls are just going to kind of waste themselves here. I do wish the devs have made vampires completely unviable. I'll just talk about that real quick while we're on the subject. To get vampires, like the actual unit, not the vampire lords, you do this spell Blood Right, and it gets you 1 vampire for 11 vampire slaves. So the obvious comparison is you compare it with Curse of Blood, which the path difference doesn't really matter that much. I mean, if you have Death Blood, you're probably going to be able to have Curse of Blood. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, would you rather have 7 small vampires, or would you rather have a vampire lord? Now, the vampire lord, while it's higher in mage path requirements, you're only going to have to waste 1 mage turn to do it. Whereas with this, you're going to have to waste 7 mage turns to get 7 vampires. But, even that being equal, when is a case where you would rather have 7 vampires than a vampire lord? I can't think of one. So the fact that these things are just completely out of whack. What they could do is just make this get 5 of them for 50. That would be much better, I think. It's still, I don't think people would get it much, but you might consider it. Anyway, this used to be a spell. You used to get vampires by having vampire lords. Vampire lords would auto-generate vampires, and they changed it to thralls, which I think was good. Having an infinite vampire factory, not so cool. So I like that. They changed it where if you're going to get vampires, you have to spin blood slaves on them. But this is, anyway, it's too bad, because it's a cool unit, but you never see them in play anymore. Anyway, so this throne that we have gotten turns out to be the Throne of Death. And this, if you recall, my throne rating for this game was one of the better thrones that I could get. So anyway, we're very happy about that. Now, we're going to go ahead. So Nazca has raided down here. We can see they're sitting on top of this fort. Here we've got, is where we lost our major battle against Pan, and we have nothing in this region to stop him from coming in and just looting all of our shit. So we're going to try and get the fuck out. One thing that's funny, so here's where we attacked, where he was going to do this kind of heroic defense. This Inca he stole from Nazca, which is kind of hilarious. God, this Inca is going to do so much damage over the next few turns, because I'm playing from the future. So anyway, Nardimu here, who is our prophet, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I was going to do. At first I was going to move on top of this fort, and then I was like, well, fuck it. Problem if I move on top of the fort, I have no idea what could all get over here. And I also, if I moved on top of the fort, I would have to move these guys also. And I don't want to do that because I want to claim this throne. But I've only got 2 guys making lictors right now, which is very, very small for turn 19. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not good. And we lost one of our archbishops. And then I've got to deploy an archbishop over here to get these guys all blessed up to take this throne. Right? So, anyway, I do all that. And now I've got like no archbishops. So like I was considering maybe I sent another archbishop down here to claim this throne, because every turn I don't have this throne is basically 5 death gems that I'm wasting, which is a lot. Like, you know, every 4 turns that would be another archbishop. Like, it's a huge deal. So we need to get our ass down here ASAP. But I want to build a palisade too, because I want to defend it. And we can see the squid. Oh, we pinged the squids here too, or the squids pinged us. They were going to apparently take this throne next turn. And they've got an army of illithids here. So I've talked with the squid player, and the squid player said they're cool with me having it. They don't really want the throne of death that much. So yeah, we're going to palisade up. We're going to patrol here in case there's dryads. I don't want to have a little dryad infection. Nardimu is going to do a slow move this way, and he is going to be the one who claims this throne. So we're going to kind of move more slowly. We're going to gather a big group of sacreds, and then we're going to push in. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm sending these water gems to Fascia for some fire plate and a fire hat. And I'm sending 4 air gems for another quill. So anyway, we've got that going on. I'm only really going to be able to use 2 quills because I've only got 2 researchers right now, but I'll definitely pay for 2. So anyway, that is basically the plan. We're going to move out, come over here, take this. I can, if I need to, get to this province from my cap. So if I need to reinforce here later, I can. This throne is just... we're going to get wrecked, basically. So anyway, that is that. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn, turn 20. Turn 20, we received 3 death gems from Fascia. This was for, I think, the water... maybe the 3 of the water I was giving him was for death gems. We found a mud field, which is most welcome. And Dopharos... We wrecked these trogs, but even though it looks like we completely wrecked them, we still lost 2 knights. Those trogs freaking hurt. Here we get attacked by Pangaea. So this is not the full 50 stack that he wiped the floor with. This is, I think, a 30 stack or 20 stack. What is it? 30 stack of White Centaur. And here, apparently, he has a bunch of harpies. Which are pretty bad units, but against barbs they do okay. Pretty good against PD, but you can see, like, even this, he still lost 7. Which, if he holds it for a few turns, is going to be worth it, but if he doesn't, it's not really that worth it. So yeah, we're losing ground on this front. We've patrolled out the scouts here. Our fort is still going up. We've got 3 months left. We're going to search with winter. We've got Nardimu moving in over here. This is still locked down by a single scout. And we have a fort coming up over here, which I'm a little worried about. We got 1 month left on it. I'm building a temple. We've got some guys patrolling that I'm kind of set up. So anyway, if the harpies come, we should be okay. But anyway, a little dicey. And I think that is mostly it for this turn. There's not too much... we got attacked by Ivy Kings here. Yeah, so anyway, we've got to come here and knock them off. And I think I'm just going to try to kill them with a bunch of garbage. Which will probably take some losses, but what are we going to do? Was this a... Yeah, we also have a fertility cult here. So that's not super awesome. We're preaching, which might get rid of the fertility cult. And I think that is about it. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn. Well, let's check one more thing. We are moving a small force here to intercept the harpies, because the harpies can get here, but they can't get... the white centaur can't. So, anyway. I need to push back on this front, but I don't... I'd have to commit another archbishop, and he's going to need a lot more sacreds than I have. So I don't really have enough forces to have an archbishop army come out this way. All I can do... And, like, I don't really want to commit stuff like this in a place where the white centaur could get to them. So anyway, that's kind of the thought process. Let's go ahead and go to turn 21. And this will probably be the last turn for this episode. We were playing during the time when there was the patch error, and Satis had a fort under siege, which... Anyway, there was some bug with the game where if your forts are under siege, it won't cancel recruitment, and you'll end up getting like the troops for free, effectively free gold or something. I don't exactly know how that works, but anyway, he had that this turn. I think it's going to happen like one other turn, and then the patch fixes itself. And I think next turn, when it happens, sorry. Anyway, next turn when it happens again, I think it's a bigger amount, like 1,000. So he's going to send some of the gold to us. We're getting attacked here. This is our cave province. And yeah, we just don't have anything to deal with really anything on that front. It's really been a bit of a tragedy. From the harpies. And this is us going after the Ivy King. We didn't actually lose that much. That's not bad. For events, unrest minus population, we have gotten rid of the fertility cult, which is quite nice. And we found a magic site. This actually is one of the important magic sites. It's the Ancient Temple. Now, it's a national event chain that's linked to this. Anybody can find ancient temples if you site search holy. Interestingly, we got this one without site searching. So, if we have a Dusk Elder there, they have a chance to get a Skull Staff or a Skull Mentor, or to gain an extra Death Magic path, I believe. Maybe it's only a Skull Staff. Maybe the Skull Mentor is if I have a Spectator. So anyway, that's kind of cool. If we have... That will not end the event chain. That will just be like a nice thing along the way. There's also a chance, I think like a 5% chance they just die. So, anyway. If we put an Archbishop there, that is how we end the event chain. And I believe it will get a Divine Mummy to join our side. As I believe how that will end it. We also... No, I forget. Maybe you also get a Divine Mummy? If we send an Archbishop there, we're going to get a free temple too, is the other thing. Which I don't even know if I want a free temple here quite yet. So I'm kind of happy to just let this be for a while. I don't want a temple, and I don't want an unforted temple. I'd rather collect the income. So yeah, so his White Centaur are here. The Harpies are here. We're going to go ahead and move this force south, because I don't think he can defend with the White Centaur. He would only be able to defend with the Harpies, so I think this is going to be pretty easy for us to take. Meanwhile, I don't know where the White Centaur can really go, to be honest. They could go here, they could go here. I'm kind of expecting they're going to go this way and try to knock me off. We also have seen an army of Pangaea kind of materialize here. It's Meneids with some White Centaur and some Satyr. So potentially this could be as many as like 20 White Centaur or 30. I don't think it's more than 30. But I'm pretty sure he's going to... This used to be his province, and it's a pretty nice high-income province because of this great gold mine and a copper mine. So we're going to go ahead and send in Airbody. We've got some anti-dryad gear on this Archbishop, and we've got Balin, who is our hero, our Lictor hero, and we're going to be sending all of them down here, and I've also got Winter, who's going to make a little visit this way. And, yeah. Basically, the idea is we're going to set up a trap where if he comes and attacks me, he will most likely die. We've got about 30 sacreds. I've got a couple kind of stragglers, which I'm pulling in from just wherever people can make it from. And then here, I've got this group, which I pulled out from my forts to kind of come over this way. And this is actually just a lot of ghouls, mostly, with a couple useful combat dudes. But the ghouls are to hold up the palisade once I have this palisade in place, so that people don't try to steal my stuff. So anyway, we're going to do that. And yeah, the palisade, we've got 2 turns left on it coming up. So it's actually, we're pretty close to having this palisade up. We also are going to be claiming the throne with Nardimu now. So this is a pretty important turn. We're probably going to end the episode here. But next turn will be interesting. We're going to have a battle here probably where, we'll see if he brings the harpies or maybe sneaky white centaur. Very likely he attacks here. So almost certain we're going to have a battle. The question is, if he brings all of this stuff, can we kill it? But he could also have a scout here and know that I'm forting up this throne. And if he knows that, he might send in everybody over here. And so then the question is, can, 25 sacreds hold off this army? So we will find out. I think that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.